Hello, my name is Nigel Ivey. I'm a businessman and entrepreneur. I've been in business for over a decade now, and I'm just in the process of launching a couple of new businesses now, looking at Amazon FBA, and then also looking at developing product and starting up a new services business, but also in a completely different sector to one that we've worked in the past. And so this channel is to document that process and also to give you tips and tricks and how-tos, and hopefully help you on your journey as you grow your business or launch your dream or whatever the case is. In this video, I'm going to be talking about one of the things that I think is the most underrated thing that people don't make use of in this day and age, and that is emails. And more specifically, keeping an email list and a mail shot list with your prospective customers or even existing customers. So many people put way too much effort into social media, Google ads, all those different things, and yet neglect one of the most powerful and best tools in terms of marketing your business, and that is email lists. And there's a few reasons for it, which I'll list here. The first one being is that having an email list enables you to be front of mind of your prospective buyers. So that means that you can send out an email every week. If you're really strong on it, you could even do it multiple times a week, but at minimum you want to be sending out an email probably once a month. And to be honest, it doesn't matter the genre of business that you're in. You can be in services, you can sell a product, you can be in weddings, whatever the case is. It'll be beneficial to you, and I bet that you'd make more money if you kept an email list. But that thing of being front of mind of somebody where they know your name and then you pop up on an ad on social media or something like that, that is a very powerful thing to have and a very powerful way of marketing. And there's a reason why so many companies that are really successful have really strong email campaigns, because it is still, in this day and age, a really strong way of marketing to people. And you might be like me and think, well, actually, I just delete the emails. I don't even half the time open them up to see what the content is. But the fact of the matter is that in that process of just deleting the email, you're seeing who it's from, you're acknowledging the name, and your mind is making a record like, oh yeah, that's those guys that do that. And obviously there's always going to be emails that you delete that you have no idea who they are because they've just bought your email address from some list or something like that. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about having an email list where you provide value to people that are actually interested in the content that you are sending them. So I'm not talking about buying an email list or anything like that, because that's total garbage. It's not going to be successful. You're not going to be getting more sales from that. Or if you do, it's going to be so minuscule, it's not going to be worth the effort. I'm talking about creating lead magnets and creating opportunities for people that are interested in the services or the products that you're offering, and that sign up for your email address willingly and knowing that they're passing over their personal contact information to you in order to get something in return. And so what that could look like is, if you are, let's just say, a wedding photographer, you could have a checklist of all of the things that you need to do whilst planning your wedding to make sure that it's as smooth and stress-free as possible. Here's your checklist. And the way that you get the checklist is that you sign up for our email list and we'll email you a PDF with the checklist. What that does is any prospective couples that are engaged and want to know how to plan a wedding and what are the tips of keeping it stress-free and as smooth and simple and easy as possible, naturally they're going to sign up for that. And then you follow that up with other things that are valuable. So then you send another email a few days later and say, hey, thanks for signing up for our email list. We hope that you enjoyed the wedding stress-free checklist. Here's some more information that you might find useful. So it could be like, here's how you pick your venue, or here's how you narrow your venue choice down, or whatever the case is. Here's how you pick your perfect dress. Here are the things to think about. And all of this sort of content could just be stuff that you have on your blog, on your website, somewhere that you recycle words slightly differently so that it's attractive for that medium and so that it makes sense on that medium. But ultimately you're just using information, you're doing informational marketing with that. And because they've willingly given you their email address in return for something valuable, that lead magnet, they are more naturally going to look at your emails and keep subscribed for that period of time that they're interested in your product. And obviously weddings is a finite time period whereby that person is a customer, and then maybe you have after sales after the actual event in terms of like albums or extra shoots, or maybe family shoots if they start a family, all that sort of stuff. So there's additional points of sale and add-ons that you can add on to your original sale. But in another conventional sort of business, like selling products and things like that, once you have a customer, you don't have to go through all the effort of trying to acquire that customer again. They're already a customer, and the chances are that they're going to buy from you again if your product is good and if they like the service. Just the way that human nature works, it's way easier to sell to existing customers than it is to sell to new customers and to acquire new customers. So the first reason is that you keep front of mind. The second reason is that you're adding value to that person, so they're more likely to want to buy from you. It's just the way that human nature works. They're more invested in the relationship because they've spent time reading your stuff, getting to know you, reading your emails, all that sort of stuff. And then the third reason why emails are so important is that it gives you an opportunity for an upsell or another call to action, and basically still drawing that person through your funnel, through your sales funnel, to ultimately sell them something. So that could be a link to another blog, it could be a link to a useful video, it could be a link to another lead magnet, maybe a more valuable lead magnet that they actually have to buy. So maybe it could be like, here's a $5 guide to whatever it is, how to set up a camera for a wedding, or whatever the case is, whatever you're selling, how to set up your Shopify store, whatever it is. And so you kind of lead them down, but with the email that you send, you can always have loads of different call to actions throughout that. So I mentioned in a previous video the importance of having call to actions on your website, so it's a very clear line and process flow for your viewers and for your prospective customers, is that they hit your website, they read through, they see a call to action, they can follow that through. Ultimately that will lead down to a sale at some point. And it's the same with your emails. So they read through, it's valuable information, they get benefited from it, and then at some point in the email there's a call to action to go to the next step. So here's a blog to read, or here's a video to watch, all those sort of things. So this is one of the reasons why emails are so important, and I've just recently this year started integrating it into my businesses. Because like many people, I didn't bother with emails, and I dabbled in it in the past, and to be honest, I didn't really know what I was doing, didn't study enough about it, didn't see the importance. I really didn't grasp how important this was as a marketing step for a business. And I did the thing of buying email lists, and then it's total garbage because they're like, how did you get my email address? And I'm ashamed to admit it, but that's the reality of what I did years ago. And this was years ago. But I've also been on a journey where I've studied and learned way more in the last 2 years than I have in my entire adult life. So the experience that I have over a decade, I've learned more about business in the last 2 years than I have in more than a decade of business. And that's because I've invested. I've spent more on books and audiobooks and courses and things in the last 2 years than I have in my entire life. And so I've grown so much more, understand so much more of the psyche of selling to people and the process that people go through as they buy stuff. And so I can't stress to you enough, if you don't have an email list, sign up for MailChimp. I'll leave a link down in the description below for MailChimp. You can sign up there. It's free. You can get a free version which actually has loads of functionality. You can get loads of value out of MailChimp's free version before you have to pay for anything, and get going with it. Collect email addresses legitimately, add value to their lives, interact with them, keep adding value, give them calls to action, and ultimately increase your sales. So I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, I'd love you to stick around, hit that subscribe button. I also have a mailing list down below which you can join, and I send out weekly emails with extra value and additional stuff that you can learn and that I hope is helpful as you build your business or launch your dream. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.